I gotta save Arthur. Speak, you're wise. Tell me how to get to that secret city.
The 1990s were a wild time for cartoons. It was a decade when anything could get its own animated show. Didn't matter if it made sense. As long as it had a theme song and something to sell, someone would air it on a Saturday morning. Rock stars became superheroes. Toxic waste turned people into role models. Mutant food got its own toy lines. If you ever wondered what the phrase cartoon logic really means, it was the 90s. So today we're counting down 15 of the most ridiculous cartoons from the 1990s you completely forgot about. Some were so bad they were great. Some were actually good, but insane. And all of them make you say, how did this ever get made? Starting at number 15, Widget the World Watcher. Before Captain Planet swooped in to save the Earth, there was Widget, a little purple alien who made saving the planet his whole personality. Widget could shapeshift into anything, a car, an animal, a cloud, whatever helped him stop greedy humans from polluting. He'd travel the galaxy yelling at poachers, factory owners, and occasionally random children. It was educational, sure, but it also felt like being lectured by a sentient grape.
Oh, I've gotta get all my work done. I'll be demoted faster than a screaming supernova if I fail.
Each episode ended with a moral lesson that was about as subtle as a brick, like, remember kids, nuclear waste isn't for playtime. But you gotta respect it, Widget cared before caring was cool. He was the first environmental influencer, 30 years before Instagram made that a thing. Number 14, Camp Candy. Imagine John Candy running a summer camp. Now imagine that summer camp as a Saturday morning cartoon. That's Camp Candy. The legendary comedian lent his voice and personality to an animated version of himself running a wholesome outdoor retreat for kids. Every episode had a goofy adventure, a gentle life lesson, and it usually ended with a campfire story or sing-along. It was part sitcom, part PSA, and part fever dream. Somehow it worked.
Are we not
Starving!
Candy's warmth made it surprisingly charming, even if the idea of a real human being turned into a cartoon counselor feels like something dreamed up after too much bug spray. And yes, John Candy even sang the theme song himself. If that's not peak 90s heart, nothing is. Number 13, Hammerman. If MC Hammer wasn't busy enough telling us we can't touch this, he was also out there fighting crime. In Hammerman, the rapper played a social worker who transformed into a dancing superhero thanks to a pair of magical talking shoes. Together they stopped villains by, you guessed it, busting a move. Each episode featured lessons about respect, kindness, and self-confidence, delivered between raps and moral monologues, of course.
Napoleon's head pure for the city, so let's get down and let's get busy.
Whoa!
And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, the real MC Hammer appeared at the end of every episode to explain the moral in live action. It's like Captain Planet, Soul Train, and a self-help seminar had a baby. Ridiculous? Absolutely, but you gotta admit, the man had range. Number 12, ProStars. Apparently Hammerman wasn't enough because NBC thought, hey, what if we made Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson into animated superheroes? And thus ProStars was born. Each week, these real-life sports icons fought crime using high-tech versions of their sports gear. Jordan had basketball gadgets, Bo threw exploding footballs, and Gretzky made hockey somehow dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Episodes open with live-action clips of the actual athletes giving moral lessons like, stay in school, kids, and remember, teamwork stops evil. It was equal parts sports propaganda and toy commercial, and if you were a kid who loved both sports and nonsense, this was your Super Bowl. It didn't last long, but the fact that it existed at all is proof that the 90s were a magical time when literally anything could be animated. Number 11, Fish Police. A detective show, but underwater, and everyone's a fish. Fish Police was a noir cartoon set in a seedy underwater city. The main character, Inspector Gill, was a tough-talking fish detective who fought crime while flirting with a jazz-singing goldfish femme fatale. It was weirdly adult, full of puns, innuendos, and booze jokes, but it aired during kids' hours.
Ego.
Then what are we?
Oops, gotta go. Got a date with a murder.
Hey, maybe I'll come with you. I mean, what if you need another brain?
Thanks, but I have a snail on call.
So while you were eating sugary cereal, the fish were chain-smoking and arguing about mobsters. It was cancelled after just 3 episodes, proving that Finding Nemo this was not. Still, it deserves credit for answering the question no one asked. What if Law & Order happened in an aquarium? Number 10, Road Rovers. Dogs are man's best friend, but in the 90s they were also humanity's best defense against evil. Road Rovers followed a team of ordinary dogs who were transformed into super-powered humanoid canines by a scientist. Together they battled villains across the globe in the name of justice and fetch toys. Think Justice League, but everyone sheds and occasionally sniffs the furniture.
You're good dogs. You're good dogs.
Of course, I am the best. I knew all along that sport couldn't be trusted.
Despite its ridiculous premise, the show actually had clever writing and a great cast of actors, including Jess Harnell, the voice of Wacko from Animaniacs. It only lasted one season, but it earned a cult following among fans who appreciated its bizarre mix of parody, action, and tail-wagging patriotism. Number 9. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You have to admire the audacity of turning a cult horror movie about mutant tomatoes into a kids show. This Fox Kids series followed a teenage pizza delivery boy named Chad, his sidekick Tara, a tomato who somehow turned human, and a group of talking vegetables trying to take over the world.
Stop this childish complaining!
The animation was pure Saturday morning chaos. Slapstick chases, food puns galore, and villains so over the top they made Skeletor look subtle. It even had a musical number in nearly every episode. Sure, it was dumb, but it knew it was dumb and leaned into it, which makes it kind of brilliant. Number 8. Mighty Max was a show based on one of the tiniest toy lines ever, a miniature set of plastic playsets called Mighty Max. But somehow, it turned into a surprisingly epic series. It followed a kid named Max who finds a magic cap that opens portals to other dimensions. He teams up with a Viking warrior named Norman and a talking owl man named Virgil to fight demons, monsters, and fate itself.
And perhaps a brain.
Hey, cool threads. Not exactly this fall's fashions, but they'll do.
The world building was rich, the tone dark, but let's not forget this was all made to sell toys the size of a golf ball. It's like Lord of the Rings sponsored by a vending machine. Still, Mighty Max was far better than it had any right to be. The finale was even shockingly tragic, proving that sometimes even ridiculous beginnings can lead to legendary endings. Right in the middle of our countdown at number 7, Biker Mice from Mars. Ninja Turtles, but with more metal. 3 motorcycle-riding, leather-clad mice who escaped their war-torn planet and crash-landed in Chicago to fight evil fish people. Their leader, Throttle, wore sunglasses at night. Their catchphrases included words like radical and rockin', and the bad guys looked like rejected Power Rangers villains.
Stop! The time has come for these filthy ferrets to forge fealty to my forces.
It was loud, dumb, and awesome. Basically everything the 90s were about. And somehow it worked. The toys sold, the theme song shredded, and the merch ruled. Ridiculous? Yes, but also unforgettable. Number 6, WildC.A.T.S. After X-Men the Animated Series exploded in popularity, everyone wanted their own team of super-powered misfits. Enter WildC.A.T.S, based on the Image comic series. It had secret alien wars, double agents, time traveling, and more explosions than plot points. The animation looked cool, but it was like watching X-Men after taking NyQuil. Each episode promised deep lore, but mostly delivered chaos.
Knew it! That creep Bryce planted a bug in our headquarters!
He could have been working for the Damonites all along.
Sure, that's why he panicked and ran away.
It lasted one season, which was about 12 episodes longer than anyone expected. Still, it's a perfect time capsule of 90s edgy superhero trends. Shoulder pads, glowing eyes, and dialogue like, let's kick some alien tail. Winding down at number 5, the Brothers Grunt. MTV wanted another Beavis and Butthead. What they got instead was this. The Brothers Grunt followed a group of pale, screaming humanoids searching for their missing brother. They looked like lumps of melted wax and communicated mostly by yelling and drooling. It was disgusting, it was disturbing, it was hilarious. Critics called it unwatchable, but it somehow made it through a full season. Mostly because people couldn't tell if it was supposed to be bad or if it just was. It's a kind of show you don't watch, you survive. Number 4, The Mighty Ducks, the Animated Series. So you remember The Mighty Ducks, right? A heartfelt sports movie about teamwork and hockey? Well, Disney remembered it differently. In their animated version, the Ducks were actually alien superheroes, duck-shaped humanoids from another planet who fought reptilian warlords and played hockey in their downtime.
Hey, besides, it's better if the world knows you're superheroes.
It is?
Well, sure. Think of all the merchandising.
Yes, they were literal alien ducks. The show had great animation, awesome designs, and the most unnecessary epic premise in Disney history. It only lasted one season, but it had enough lasers, explosions, and duck puns to fill a lifetime. And let's be honest, we all kind of loved it. Number 3, Toxic Crusaders. The Toxic Avenger was a cult horror film full of violence and gore. The story followed Toxie, a janitor turned radioactive mutant who led a team of lovable freaks fighting pollution. They looked disgusting but had hearts of gold and lots of slime.
Fellas, there's something suspicious about this. I think it's time we paid a visit to our ex-bubblegum factory for some answers.
The show was surprisingly self-aware, full of fourth-wall jokes and absurd humor. The toy line was a hit, but parents weren't thrilled about their kids watching a show based on a movie where heads exploded. Still, it was gloriously gross and perfect 90s, a true masterpiece of bad judgment. Our runner-up at number 2, Butt Ugly Martians. Just before the millennium, we got Butt Ugly Martians, a show about 3 aliens sent to conquer Earth who decided they'd rather hang out, play video games, and eat junk food. The CGI was rough, like PlayStation 1 cutscene rough, but it was so bad it circled back around to charming.
Pull!
Each episode was full of weird slang, burp jokes, and strange attempts at cool. It was trying to be Toy Story, but it landed somewhere closer to early internet fan fiction. Yet it had that late 90s heart, bright, loud, and blissfully unaware of how silly it was. And last but not least, at number 1 on our countdown, The Tick. This was the ultimate superhero parody, a muscle-bound blue goofball shouting spoon while fighting villains like Chairface Chippendale and the Human Ton. It was smart, surreal, and surprisingly philosophical, with lines like, "You can't destroy the Earth, that's where I keep all my stuff." The Tick was a superhero who didn't understand anything but believed in everything.
I gotta save Arthur. Speak, you're wise. Tell me how to get to that secret city.
He was equal parts noble and clueless, the perfect reflection of the 90s itself. It only ran for 3 seasons, but it remains one of the most quotable, bizarre, and absolutely glorious cartoons ever made. The 90s didn't just give us great cartoons, they gave us fearless ones, shows that didn't worry about logic, tone, or marketing plans. If it sounded fun, they animated it. And honestly, that's what made them amazing. You had rappers fighting crimes, sports stars saving the world, alien ducks battling space lizards, and mutant vegetables plotting global domination. These cartoons were chaotic, ridiculous, and full of heart. So next time you're scrolling through endless safe streaming options, remember the glorious nonsense of Saturday mornings in the 90s, when creativity had no filter and the weirdest ideas somehow made it to air. Because sometimes, the ridiculous ones are the most unforgettable. In the 90s, the weirder it was, the better it got.